Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. Staying fit is a combination of eating well and physical fitness. This you can easily find in Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. First, you will get to lose fat easily with amazing exercises. Build your muscles gradually. Fitness becomes fashion, so no pain, no gain. Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. The way to prove yourself is to better yourself with the kinds of machines we have at Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. You will easily better yourself, like the rowing machine, leg curl machines, weight benches, rubber plates, double pulley machines, cross trainers, rubber dumbbells, multi-gym machines, and much more. Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max. Remember, we have a state-of-the-art changing rooms, toilets and showers for our esteemed clients, both ladies and gents. Different varieties of foods to aid your self-development of muscles and bones are available at reasonable prices. Regular beat training is also part of our periodic exercises. For more information, call 7171998, 7171998, Bunyur Fitness Center Body Max.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Welcome to Bunyur News Online for another episode of daily COVID-19 update. And today I'm discussing why the second wave of pandemic or second wave of infection is inevitable. It's going to happen. To what extent, I don't know, but it's going to happen. So while other parts of the world are yet to reach the peak of the pandemic, now I'm talking about the second wave. It's just a question of sending an early warning, like other infectious disease experts like Anthony Fauci, who's been advising Americans of the second wave of pandemic. If it should happen, I believe the world will be more prepared to handle it better than we are now. That is, if we are willing and to do the right things. So, as usual, before I go into today's topic, I normally give the updates about the statistic of COVID-19. Fellow, my audience, Gunjur News Online audience will agree with me that it is only December here when we have this pandemic ravaged through the world. And it's like it's been here with us for all our lives, and that's just a testament to the extent how this disease or how this COVID-19 impacted on our lives. It cages us, it makes us prisoners in our own homes. It destroy our livelihoods. We cannot even perform our religion the way we want it. We cannot join our congregational prayers and churches, just to make so the cycle of infection is controlled. And these also come with other issues like mental health issues during these lockdowns. I mentioned here yesterday that isolation can have twice more severe impact on our health than overweightness. So that's how serious it is. So far, since it is COVID-19 announced itself to the world, 5,741,807 people are infected, and out of that, 354,762 dead as a result of COVID-19 infections. People will tell you, when you look at these numbers, these are serious numbers. Number of people dying of one single infection within 6 months. That is terrible numbers. What these numbers will be after 1 year or so, I don't know, but these are serious numbers. So number of people that for one particular virus, these are very, very, very high numbers. And we just cannot underestimate them. That's like a 7% death rate. That is mortality rate. For a virus that is very, very high. Every day we are bombarded with thousands and thousands of different viruses. But most of the time, in fact, thank you, sir. Most of the time, we will not even be infected with this because our bodies can mount a defense against them and conquer them. So for a virus of which have the chances of killing you 7% if you got infected with it, that's a serious, very, very lethal virus. It might not be the most lethal virus we've seen in recent times, because one of the causes of this COVID-19, because of this COVID-19, was MERS, which originated in Saudi Arabia in 2012, have the mortality rate of about 37%. That's pretty high. And the SARS also, which is another cousin to this corona that is taking the world by storm, SARS also have a mortality rate of about 10%. So this one is still the least lethal, but still 7% mortality rate is very high. So number of people who recovered since this pandemic started is like 2,470,546. And the bigger this number, the better for the world community to understand the pathogenicity of COVID-19. And also this recovered population will serve as a reservoir of chances of transferring their blood into people with COVID-19. These will dampen down the viremia, that is the implication of the virus, because transfusing their blood, they already recovered. Because if you recovered from a virus, that means you have a resistance to it. For example, if you have, as a child, our immune system are underdeveloped. So most of the immunoglobulin was specially programmed protein that are in our body that help us to fight infections. We get it from our mothers. That's why the first milk from our mothers is very, very important, because that is full of these proteins that can help us to fight off these early childhood infections. So that's why people who are recovering from cancer or some immunosuppressive illnesses, or some people who are on steroid for a long time, their immune system is so weakened, they tend to get all these childhood viruses. So some people who recover tend, automatically supposed to have these specially programmed proteins that can take care of new infection of a similar virus that they encountered before. So technically, if you should take the blood of somebody who recovered from COVID-19 and transfer it to somebody who is suffering from COVID-19 infections, that specially programmed immunoglobulins will go in there and get rid of those viruses. So that's why these numbers are important. And already developed countries like the UK have already started transfusing these bloods into the patients. And as you can see, the UK, they passed, they are big now, and they definitely on the downward spiral. And you look at countries like Italy and Spain also, things are getting really, really better. But unfortunately, places like South America and Africa, the numbers are going in the right directions. And this is the worst possible scenario, because maybe South America also just a little bit better than part of Africa. They don't have state-of-the-art medical facilities we've seen in Europe and America when the going got tough. They just went for it and overcome the disease in record time. We've seen South Brazil. Even though their idiotic president is still insisting, is still being arrogant, still deserves to give this virus the respect it deserves. within certain states, their medical healthcare system is already seriously overwhelmed, and this could spell disaster for the rest of the world. Because it's only yesterday or on Monday, I can say, when America stopped flight coming from Brazil. But how many people from Brazil in those weeks preceding that who entered into America? I'm not sure if England they already stopped people from Brazil or other part of the world. But if they don't, this is what I'm here. This is the topic of my discussion today. This is what is going to be responsible of the second wave of infection, and also the eagerness of the Western world to let their citizens out of the street. And this is as a result of the pressure from the general public. So currently, the number of people with COVID-19, that is the active cases, is 2,916,499 people. And out of that, 98% of the active cases, that is 2,863,409 in mild conditions. And when I say mild condition, these include asymptomatic carriers as well. These are the group which infected, but they don't even know because they don't fall ill. But they know that they are infected because of our contact tracing. And today, UK announced that they're going to launch a very military-style contact tracing team that is going to be a game changer, I believe, because this will go in, which is going to be supported by the app they are trying, even though the app is not up to scratch still. They are trialing in Isles of Wight. This app will help the human contact tracers to go and locate these people physically and test them if they turn out to be positive, and send them into quarantine stations. So the number of people in serious condition, these numbers are increasing, to be honest with you. Last weekend they look to have been coming down. But we can't be complacent. Across the world, COVID-19 still yet to peak. The numbers are increasing. The numbers of people in critical condition or seriously ill by COVID-19 is 53,080 people. And these seriously ill people are the ones that need intensive care bed, because if they say you are seriously, critically ill with COVID-19, that means your lung capacity is so decimated, is so damaged, that your lung on itself cannot maintain healthy concentration of oxygen in your system. So in the hospital, what they do, they will fit these people with mechanical ventilators that will force, saturated oxygen. This is pure oxygen, 100% oxygen into their system, so that they can maintain that healthy blood oxygen. So why I say 100%, why I stress that, because in the atmosphere, the concentration of oxygen is only 21%. And if your lungs capacity is reduced to 25%, that means your lungs can only take 4% of that oxygen into your system. That's not going to help you, it's going to kill you. And how can low oxygen in our system kill us? Because oxygen is the fuel. It's like a petrol to the car. So without oxygen, we can't do anything. Oxygen have to go in so that your body can use the glucose to burn it and to provide you with energies, and also building your vital body structures. So if our oxygen concentration is not up to healthy standard for a prolonged time, our kidneys, our other vital organs like brain start damaging, and this is how the virus kill people. So now I'm going to read to you, before I go to my main topic, is top 10 most affected countries. And you won't believe these numbers, they will go down weekend, and from Tuesday on, the numbers will start shooting up again, and there is no relent. So far, 213 countries are affected with COVID-19, and two international conveyances. By that, I mean these are uh, warships, or how do you call it? These party ships. Yeah. So so far, over the past 24 hours, we have 63,661 new cases across the world. across the world, and 3,108 deaths. This number doubled from yesterday. Yesterday it was only 1,800 deaths across the world. I'm talking about the number of deaths. It's 6 months we are into this disease, and everybody seems to be getting used to these numbers, but these are serious numbers. We are talking of only one illness. This number of people are dying. And America past 24 hours recorded 10,085 new cases and 779 deaths. And you will believe America passed another bad milestone, past 24 hours. That's it. Right now, currently, this virus killed over 101 people, 351 people in the US alone. Past 24 hours, Brazil recorded 3,806 new cases, 197 dead. Russia recorded 8,338 new cases and 161 dead. Numbers for Spain are not yet in. I know they are doing well, but they are not yet to zero yet. UK recorded 2,013 new cases and 412 deaths. And Italy, 584 new cases, 117 deaths. Italy now, they can think about their football now. The numbers are definitely going down, and I think they are at a safety level whereby with all that safety precautions they can go back to their normal life. Germany past 24 hours recorded 431 new cases and 22 deaths, and Turkey recorded 1,035 new cases, 34 deaths. India, just like Brazil, are still the countries heading in the wrong directions. The number for India past 2 weeks keep increasing, and today also they break new record, that is 7,249 new cases. So when I say new record, I mean new national record for India. Is far more than is far still far less than what Russia, England, and other countries recorded before. So India recorded 190 deaths past 24 hours. Iran recorded 2,080 new cases and 56 deaths. Now the countries that are very close to the Gambia, we know Gambia is surrounded by three sides by Senegal, and Gambia is safe. I think that is not down to the effort of the Gambians, but what the Senegalese are doing. Senegalese are putting very, very good and robust system in place, especially controlling the flow of people from Senegal to the Gambia. I think that is helping the Gambia a lot. But Guinea-Conakry, the numbers continue to increase. I said this, I predicted this 2 weeks ago. These are going to continue because what Guinea did recently was they went to the election complete defiance to the advice of WHO. And since their election, by the time they went to the election, I think they have only one confirmed cases. But since then, Guinea recorded 3,275 cases. Senegal so far recorded 3,253 and 92 past 24 hours alone. So that's not looking good in West Africa. And these are in line with what WHO predicted. They say the COVID-19 will peak in West Africa around May, June. And no, around June, July. Even though compared to the rest of the world, Africa still ranks the lowest of the low at the bottom in terms of transmission rate and also death rate. That's a good news. I think that's a divine intervention because, the way our healthcare facilities are, if we have a transmission rate or death rate like other part of the world, that will be a big, big disaster. That will help, the takeover of the Chinese. It will really, really speed it up. So Ivory Coast so far recorded 2,477 cases, and Guinea-Bissau, another country which is not doing too well, they so far recorded 1,175 cases, and Mali recorded 1,116 cases. Mali is another country that went to the polls recently, as late as 29th of March, again in complete defiance. And last week we've seen another African country, which is Burundi. They went to the polls. In fact, when the WHO representative shared her concern, and she was expelled from the country. So Burkina Faso so far recorded 845 cases, and past 24 hours they recorded 13 new cases. Sierra Leone also, the numbers are creeping up. We recorded our first case before Sierra Leone, but now they are miles and miles ahead of Gambia. They recorded 782 cases so far, and past 24 hours alone, they recorded 28 new cases. So that brings me back to today's topic. That is why second wave of infection is inevitable. Second wave of pandemic is going to happen. To what extent, I don't know, and how well we're going to deal with it, I don't know. That depends on the attitudes and the willingness of maybe the political will, I can say. The medical um, um, the medical community, I think, suffered a lot, and I won't even question how they will respond. But let's leave to the political will, and also the willingness of the politicians. It's sad to see a U.S. president. These guys supposed to be leading by example, but mocking opposition leader for wearing a mask. To him, that is weakness. To him, that is sending wrong message to the business community, because for him, what matters is the economy. The economy have to continue, just like that idiot in Brazil, Bolsonaro, I think is his name. You know, yeah, Thank you, Ibrahim. You're welcome. Yeah. So this is why I say it's inevitable. Like you see, Europe and America already are opening their economies, and people are going about their business. But what is happening in South America, people in fact is not even forming a major headlines. But what is happening in Brazil is a real pandemic and should be a concern. And there are a lot of countries in Latin America that are struggling economically. One of that is Ecuador and Chile and Venezuela. These countries cannot withstand a major shock to their healthcare systems. And they are connected to the rest of the world. As you say, we live in a global village. If you open your economy, people are going to come. It's only yesterday when America closed their borders to Brazil. But I'm not sure that is the case for other European countries. And I'm not sure if that is the case for another European country. So why you are using your people are to go, but there are new wave of infection coming from other parts of the world, and also the impatience of the Western world. These people have been used to their freedom. In their lifetime, they never experienced anything. Which confined them to their houses for a week, month, or two. It don't happen, since the World War. I don't think the world have seen anything like this. So these people, they've been pampered. They used to freedom of movement everywhere, but all of a sudden there is this virus. It come out, and everybody have to sit at one place. So the locals or the citizens are putting lot of pressure on the politicians, and the politicians also are in on their own pressure as well, because some of them, like Donald Trump, he did a good job in building Americans' economy and reviving it. All of a sudden, in election year, we have this virus. So he's finding it very, very difficult, to continue to close his American economy, and that might, cost him, the election. And it's the same thing in Brazil as well. This far right wing president, only interest is the economy, to get the economy going. And in even his public utterances, this guy care less about the number of people. That all he's interested is for Brazilian economy to continue. So this is why I said these are some of the reasons I bank my hypothesis on that second wave of infection is inevitable. Yeah, but we can stop it as well. How can we stop it? That's I will discuss that as well. Now COVID-19 is not new to us, so if it is to come back, it's not going to be new. And already in a very, very, very short time, the Western world, they were not paying the attention they should to their healthcare facilities. But because of the facilities, the wealth of these nations, in a very short time, they managed to scramble around and build facilities in record time. Like UK built a 2,000 bed hospital, state of the art hospital, in 9 days. China did it in 5 days. So America also, we've seen they turn pass into hospitals in couple of days. So these systems are there, and I can't see them dismantling them anytime soon. So should we have a second wave of pandemic, these are going to come very handy. And also in the medical fraternity, this is something nobody experienced before, but now we all went through it and we see what it takes. So that experience also will come handy. That's why it might not cause the damage it does. But for countries that didn't experience the level of damage it caused in the Western world, means they are also less experienced. They are more likely to struggle when the second wave struck. And this was the situation during the Spanish flu in 1918 to 1920. The first pandemic hit the Western world very hard, but when it come back again, they were prepared, and most of them were immune anyway. So this was the time the developing world, Africa, was really hit hard. During the 1920 Spanish flu pandemic, the second wave killed a lot of people in the Gambia. I think that's about 70,000, something like that. So that's my fear. And already if the West overcome this, as we have seen, they started relaxing their economies, and already internal flights are allowed. So if the international flights start moving out, these people want to go, they must start transporting this new infection to new part of other part of the world that didn't experience it. That means we don't have the herd immunity. So this is where developing countries are going to be at a greater risk, and that's why our government, our policy makers cannot just rest on their laurel. They have to keep their eye on these screens, what is happening across the world, so they can do the right intervention at the right time. So why even if the second pandemic stroke, why we can do better than we did this time. It all depends on what is available. For example, willingness to do things that are already in place, and very clear. We know that social distancing work, or physical distancing, should I call it. If you implement strict physical distancing measures, it interrupts the chain of infection of the virus. So we all know that's happened. So if there should be a second spike or cluster of infections, I think the government, what they're going to do, they're going to activate those social distancing measures, to make sure that it doesn't spread as quickly as possible. So we know the things that works, and also we know that quick test, to test in big numbers, like we have seen right in England for the past week or so. They've been testing over 100,000 per day. And if you go to China, even more, China tests over 18 million. No, 6 million, sorry, in Wuhan alone in 1 week. That's important, because then we know who are immune, who are not immune, and who can go back to the community and who can go back to the community. We know that those are already in place. And already UK, in fact, not only testing for COVID-19, but they can test. They have the capability now to test if you are resistant to the virus or not. That means if you have these specially programmed proteins called globulin in your system, that can tell them, wow, this guy was infected and he managed to withstand the infection and recover from it. That means he's naturally immune to it. That test is there. It was developed by Roche Pharmaceuticals. And also, we know contract tracing do work. So not only that we have physical contract tracers, but now most countries in the developed world and the Far East, they develop mobile applications that can trace if you come in contact with somebody who was infected with COVID-19. So should the second wave arrive, these technologies are going to come very handy, because rather than relying on physically contact tracing, now we know that you come in contact with somebody who has COVID-19 by just a mobile app. I think that's a brilliant inventions. So that got to show you the gap between the developing and the developed world. We cannot even, some in fact didn't even believe the virus exists. We cannot even implement physical distancing. But now we have other part of the world. The mobile app can tell you, you know what, you come in contact with somebody who have COVID-19. So we need to buckle up and invest in science and technology. It is only by investing in science and technology that Africa can, start to compete with the rest of the world. In fact, this COVID-19 could have been a brilliant opportunity for Africa, because I know most Western countries are going to come pull out from China. Their manufacturing jobs are going to come out from China. So India is far ahead of us. I can see India benefiting, and I can see India also move head and shoulder, ahead of Africa. So these are some of the issues our politicians. We have to be elections request for the locals, that what do you have for science and technology? What do you have for the environment? What do you have for the health? These are some of the things we should be asking. Yeah, thank you very much. I've come to the end of another edition. Ben Sware will come inshallah on Friday at the same time. But tomorrow I'll continue to give you daily updates, and I will update you through my Facebook timeline, the topic of discussion. Thank you all. Allah Barakatuh. Really, thank you very much.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Bruceby Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400, or 635-9906.
Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. Staying fit is a combination of eating well and physical fitness. This you can easily find in Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. First, they will get you lose fat easily with amazing exercises. Build your muscles gradually. Fitness becomes fashion, so no pain, no gain. Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. The way to prove yourself is to better yourself with the kinds of machines we have at Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. You will easily better yourself, like the rowing machine, leg curl machines, weight benches, rubber plates, double pulley machines, cross trainers, rubber dumbbells, multi-gym machines, and much more. Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max. Remember, we have a state-of-the-art changing rooms, toilets and showers for our esteemed clients, both ladies and gents. Different varieties of foods to aid your self-developments of muscles and bones are available at reasonable prices. Regular beat training is also part of our periodic exercises. For more information, call 7171-998, 7171-998, Bunyul Fitness Center Body Max.
Dear friends of the Gambia, greetings from your destination of choice, home to the island of Kunta Kinte and known for over 500 exceptional bird species. Be ready for adventures on the River Gambia, where nature caters to you sustainably as it meanders through endless experiences. Our rich, welcoming, and diverse cultures will show you the places closest to our hearts, delight you with our exceptional culinary taste and the local flavors, enchant you with state-of-the-art conference facilities, with luxurious accommodation that caters to your every need, considering your standards in an eco-friendly environment. Stay home today, travel tomorrow. We look forward to welcoming you all to our golden shores once again. From the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa,